everyone. Hope you're doing really well. Cass here with Lovecraft with Cass. And just thought I would catch you up with the love project that I'm doing. I did an introduction video and explained what the blanket was about, why I was making it, and it's a community effort. People in a Facebook community following a YouTuber were making a blanket for, and I put out a call if anyone wanted to send a square to me, then I would stitch them all together in a blanket. And it's just communities banded together. And I mean, I've done a lot of crafts, and I've honestly been in quite a few Facebook groups for different crafts. The literal community of stitching people is just not like any other group I've seen. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, so yes, everyone's like, yep, came out in force. I ended up with the total amount of squares posted to me were 237, Kimberly, from all corners of the world, like just crazy beautiful. What I thought I'd show you today is what my plans were for the squares. So I did explain it in the last video, which was the first video. It was 3 by 3 inches, and it didn't need backing, and there was no specific theme or color palette, just pretty much, you do you. And so how I've been joining these squares together to make the blanket, and let me get my needle and get rid of this thread. Oh, sorry, that noise was a bit weird. So I had some calico. Is it just me, or does like every stitcher just have a stash of calico? Anyway, so because what I wanted to do, and I might have explained this in the last video, but that was a while ago in all honesty, and I really can't remember. So I won't do the whole 9 patch with you. I'll just do this bit just so you get the idea. More fluff. What a surprise. And so what I do is just snip some off. So I had calico and I tea dyed it just to make it like really neutral. I almost want it to kind of just be kind of sort of invisible, not properly invisible, because I'm going to do some stitching in the borders. Which one did I have? I'll just flip this over. So I'm going to do some stitching in there, and I'm thinking of using like the neutral thread, because each square is just has so much personality and life, and I thought that's why I did the framing, because I was just worried that if they're all butted up against each other and they just whoosh, and I just feel like visually it'd be really muddy and be really hard to pick something to like focus in on at a time. Like, I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it makes sense. So yeah, so I decided to do each square gets its border of this tea-dyed calico, which I've ripped into strips. And yeah, and then I think just to kind of settle the middle down, I'm just going to do running stitch few lines in all the frames, borders, whatever you want to call them. That's the plan anyway, so I hope that will look all right. I think it'll look okay. So yeah, and so then when I have finished this very last 9 patch, then I will start putting all the 9 patches together to form the quilt. And this last, so I hadn't made my square for the blanket, and I did still want to make one, even though I was like doing the sewing and stuff. But I hadn't made one because I had absolutely no idea how many I was going to get, how big it was going to be, or anything. It was just really kind of potluck. So what I did is I just waited until I had all the squares, and then started counting them, sorting them out, and that is I'll be making a journal cover because I'm going to use a lot of the envelopes, so the person, because there's a lot of notes and well wishes and stuff like that, but also so the person can see like the stamps and where all these letters from all over the world came from, which I had planned to do like from the very beginning anyway. When all the letters started arriving, I just thought, what a treasure trove having all these envelopes, just, you know, and it just, they all had their own story, coming from someone who sat down and made a square and then sent, you know, over here to Australia to me, and some took, you know, a couple of days to get to me, some took months, you know, it's like, and then there was the whole Canada postal strike right in the middle of it, la la la. So so yeah, so I had, when all the letters were flooding in, and I didn't want to waste all that beautiful like narrative with the envelope, so I thought I'll make a journal out of that. Now, so I'm just whip stitching. Everyone is just whip stitched. So I folded seam allowance over because I wanted there to be not like, I didn't want it to just be one layer of calico. It needed to have some substance because most of the squares are layered. And so I thought so I folded over and I whip stitch one side, and then I fold that over into the middle, and then I will whip stitch this one on, like, yay. And, you know, and I've found that the balance with the calico being folded over between the squares actually works quite well. It seems to be just the right amount of weight or layers or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so I'm just pinning this down, and you know, this doesn't obviously have a right way up, but I'm just using that is like a little plant going up the side of a house kind of thing. So that's why I'm gonna do that. So then, yeah, so this is what I've been doing for the last couple of months. I'm not sure if I genuinely cannot remember when I did the first video showing, because I did a quite long video and I showed every square front and back when I could, as long as there were no names on it because privacy, and explained what it was about. And then I just kind of went away, and we have just been doing this every single day, and it honestly, hand on heart, not a chore. like, not, like, I honestly thought, you know, after having to seam like 230 plus squares together, I'd kind of get a bit over it. But no, maybe if they were just like my squares, like, you know what I mean, like, or just material, but like I get to work with all these pieces of art, like, you know, and I will go through and show each 9 patch when I finish putting these 3 together, and I'll just show you, and just in case anyone wants to see the process of how I'm putting the blanket together. I know people in the Facebook group are feeling like, oh, show some photos. I'm like, no. Remember, we're not showing photos until the person has received the blanket, because we don't want the surprise to be spoiled. Which is, you know, I'm filming this now while I'm doing the blanket, but I will not release the videos until after the person has the blanket, which makes sense to me. So yeah, so just very simple whip stitch through calico, on a calico border between each square, and then once I've got my row of 3 squares, I get a longer piece that goes all the way along, and do exactly the same thing, just long ways. So you can see, bring this one back for example, so you can see, you know, that's joining of the 3, and then another long one, exact same method, just longer, and so no names on there, is there? No. So you can see, sorry, can you see I'm flapping this around, that I've just stitched that across, folded over and stitched it to both sides, and then we have our 9 patch. And some of the squares, like if the squares were a little bit small, that was okay. I could work with that. I would just put a buffer in of the calico, which I don't think you really notice unless it was pointed out, especially when the whole thing's together. But like I said, you know, I got a rectangle that was like 7 by 5 inches, and a really big one that was bigger than this, and you know, and I was just like, yeah, that's not gonna work in the thing. So they get their own special project. But that's how the bordering works. And once I finished this, I went on a whole nother tangent again. I still didn't get to my point that I started at the beginning. Was waiting for all the squares to come in, and I hadn't made my own because, you know, I needed to work out how many squares I got, and like what shape the blanket was going to end up being, like, you know, sort of thing. Anyway, with the 9 patches, and keeping the ones that don't fit aside for the journal, and making I had enough for 24 squares plus 2 extra. So actually this one and this one, from other people. And so, like, easy peasy lemon squeezy, I just made 7 squares, and that way we could do 5 by 5 9 patches, which is 25, and so this is the 25th 9 patch that will be put together. And I won't show you the other squares I made, because I actually have embroidered the person's name into the squares, and So the idea is this 9 patch will have the person's name and saying we love you and stuff like that in the first 2 top rows, and because these were 2 spare ones, and I made this to kind of balance out that one, and so the top 2 ones of the other 6 squares say their name, and so I won't show you those, but the idea is that since we're doing 5 by 5, which works out beautifully, I actually am going to put that one in the middle, so the focus, you know, the love for them has been the whole center and reason for the blanket, and I thought that would work quite nice, but I can't show you because it's got their name on it, and if they go on YouTube and talk about it and happy to do that, that's fine, but I don't want to reveal people's names without any consent or permission or anything, so hope you understand that. Okay, so you get the idea of what that just has frayed a bit, so I'll need to redo that bit, and this happens a bit, like a bit, actually a lot. Some of the things stitching was quite tricky because the stuff was so frayy. But that's alright. Am I still? Oh, I'm just floating out of camera shot. Sorry about that. So we'll see if, yeah, so some of it, I've just unthreaded my needle. That's a bit better. Yeah, some of it could be quite frayy, you know, but that's alright. We got there in the end. Area, all, well, apart from the other ones I've made, they're all stitched into 9 patches, and I'm really excited about going to the next stage, like just genuinely excited just to see this come together, and just so overwhelmed with just the beauty of people and just the outpouring of love for this person going through a tough time, and it just really reinstates your faith in humanity, and it's just genuinely a beautiful thing. So yeah, so then yeah, I'll do the same with that bit for there, and then get a long bit across. Oh, bit low down again, sorry. You know, so do that, and then do the other 2 rows. So that's the plan for that one. But I won't, like I said, I won't show you the rest because it does have names embroidered on it. Let me just put these in here so that I don't accidentally stab myself. Okay, I'm going to see if I can bring the camera down a little bit, because then I can show you. I'll just make sure there's no names. So that's the first. Oh, that's really awkward. Hang on. There you go. So yeah, can you see that all right? Yep. Okay, so that's one, and this is going to take a little while, so just bear with me, because I have to check for names on the front side. I won't bother showing the backs for this one. So that's another one. There. As you can see, there are a lot of hearts and a lot of log cabins. With some Suffolk puffs, and I remember the person who sent this actually wrote in the card about these covered bridges, and that was really cool. So all these notes, and a lot of people did explain about things to do with their particular square that they did, which was just fabulous. Actually, I'm going to just grab another bit of calico, because that's got, and then that Sorry, you can't really see that. Sorry, that's just the way of it. So I got some Snuggle Pot and Cuddle Pie, Come Nut Babies, which is very Australian. And then double check this one. I think that's alright. Okay, and then there's this one. Is he okay? Just trying to see. Okay. And these just, everyone is just beautiful. Like, these three specifically asked to be together because they're three sisters. They're stitching sisters and oh, I've forgotten. I'm sorry. I am sorry, sisters. You know who you are. Grab my little piece of calico from under there. Oh, okay. It's a bit awkward, but that's okay. Some of it will be covered up, but that's okay. Okay, and there's another one. So oh, it's just beautiful. Like, people have such an amazing capacity to just be awesome. So yeah, it's very pretty. And I think this one's pretty. So I had to put an edge on these because these were really small. But yeah, look at all the stitching, just so much work and effort, and it's just so beautiful. Every one of them, it's going to be the most amazing quilt to ever quilt. And I'm very, very honoured to be able to be a part of it, actually. I feel like it's a very significant part of my life, that's for sure. I'm just checking names. Okay. And you know how, like, they, is that alright? That in? You see that alright? Yep. They as in, like, doctors and whatever, or is it doctors or philosophers, psychologists? I'm not sure. Someone says that, you know, if you want to feel better, then do something for someone else. And genuinely, this has really helped me get through some pretty tough times, because I'm focused on making sure it's just full of good love and happy juju. I you know, leave everything at the door when I start working at this, because, you know, my intent is to spread love, not just sit and mull and dwell. So yeah, it's really, really been a blessing for me, which is an unexpected benefit. I'm very grateful to everyone who wanted to be involved. And that's another one. Just yeah, and you guys can pause your video if you want to look, and you can actually zoom in with your videos on YouTube and stuff. Okay, oh, that's handy. Let me make sure. Okay, so this one's actually a little brooch that's detachable, but it is actually, the person's name is embroidered in the circle under there, so I'll leave that there. But yeah, just, and every single one is so unique and beautiful. Just like, it's just quite incredible, really, how people using the same motifs, same color patterns, color palette, sorry, and patterns, same stitches, but no two are even close to being the same. So, okay. So as you can see, as you know, I kind of fell off the radar with doing anything else, because literally have just been stitching all these together. It's being set at my dining table. It's all set up in little baskets, so every time I had some time I'd sit down and do as many squares as I could in one sitting. Okay, just checking. There we go. There's another one. It's got a little dangly thing, and that's got a pocket. It's just beautiful, just beautiful. So if you're watching this and you were part of this project, well done, and thank you for being part of this project. Pretty sure that's it. This one's quite 3D. We can see that. I'm sorry if I'm not. Oh, I should put my glasses on so I can see properly. Okay. Mostly, and I think I brought the camera down a little bit too low. Excuse my arms. I don't want to wiggle too much. Is that a bit better? I don't know if that's better at all. That's alright, we'll keep going because there's still a bunch more to go. Sorry, I'm just going to have some tea. It's like lavender tea tonight, so that's, well, it's actually 4 o'clock in the morning. Need my scrap. Sorry, you won't be able to see the middle one. I think, there we go. Yep, that's got names on it. And then we got another one. And this is, I messaged the person who sent this in, and I asked if it was Emily Dickinson's poem, Hope is a Thing with Feathers, which is what it was, and I was really happy to see that. And there's been quite a few feathers. This one, some more Snuggle Pot and Cuddle Pie, which is really cute. Good to see Australia represent, yeah! But yeah, just, oh, I was amazed oh yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Just so amazing. There's another one. Hope feather. And see, they're completely different. Exact same subject matter, but just completely unique. It's amazing. And I'm probably sounding a bit like a broken record. I apologise for that. Sort of. Not really that, sorry. Just, they are amazing. Look at this. Just, oh my gosh. This is just been such an amazing journey. No, that's not good. I'm going to just fold the bottom up. Now, if you haven't seen your square on here, could be 2 reasons. One, it could have embroidered names on it. Actually, that's 3 reasons. Could have embroidered names on it. It could be next to someone that has embroidered their names on it. Or it was one of those odd, not odd, sorry, I don't mean to call it odd, but the different shaped ones. So actually I'm going to need my other hand. Yeah, so yeah, if you don't see a square, it's either put aside for the journal cover, which when I make the journal cover I will do a video about that and show them. But if you haven't seen it in this, it's because of privacy with names and stuff. So your square is either got names on it or is right next to someone else that has names on it. Just checking this one. Okay. I think that's, yep, that's in frame. I'm just checking. This is the last one. Minus the last one I have to make, but that's the 24 9 patches. So that's that. How amazing is all that work? Look at that. Just people from all over the world rallied around someone they admired because they were going through a tough time. Like, it's just, it just melts my heart. It just makes me all gooey. Anyway, so I thought I'd show you that before I finished making the last square, which I will do, and I'll do that. I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to start piecing all the 9 patches together. And then when I've pieced all the 9 patches together, I'm going to work on the journal cover, and I will come back to video that. I will take video footage of the whole blanket together, and I will ask permission for it to be shown on my channel. Otherwise they can show it on their channel, and you'll just have to go over to their channel and look. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say and do for now, because I want to start getting these 9 patches together and get a wiggle on, because this is like, oh, a year in the making. Almost. It's almost been a year since I first put the call out for squares, which, not quite, it's probably 9 months. I don't know. Yeah, I was going to do the cutoff at the end of the year, but then there was the whole Canada postal strike, and I had to wait for more to come in this year, and yeah, it's just taking time to put them all together. So it's a long process, but slow stitching is, and that's all good. But yeah, so leave you with a little heart, and hope you're all well and safe. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're rugged up. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you are not melting. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just blubbering now. Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, bye.